Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Dragon Plus live stream. I am very excited that we will be returning with another episode of Dungeons and Doodles today. Woo! This was the brainchild of Stan, so as always, thank you for putting this together originally. And we're back for our third edition of it.
I'm so excited.
So joining us today, in addition to Stan, of course, is Richard Whitters, is the correct pronunciation, I think?
Yes.
Whitters.
Whitters.
Yes.
And Max Dunbar, who is our special guest. Max, what are you doing here?
I'm doing some concepts, and that's about all I can say.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a trick question. That's
I might have said too much. I might have said too much, actually.
That was a test, because if you'd said the wrong answer, you would right out that door.
Just gone from this place.
Security.
So folks who might not be aware of Max's fine work, wonderful artist for such companies as IDW, Image, Vertigo, on such titles as Rat Queens, one of our favorites, First Strike, Slash and Burn, little comic called Dungeons and Dragons, and the third issue of Gears of War coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yep. Rise of Rom. Tomorrow.
All right, well, before
Rom
we...
Space Knight?
No, different. They should.
That would be a good crossover.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah. Fantastic.
But we will not be drawing... Well, maybe we'll be drawing Rom Space Knight today.
You never know.
So as always, if folks are tuning into Dungeons and Doodles for the first time, we've invited some artists to field some questions that we've cobbled together beforehand. They've got some answers they'll be putting out for the first time. Along the way, we'll be asking for your input and suggestions, so I'll throw that out as everyone is drawing. But why don't we get right to it so that we can start showcasing.
Let's draw some stuff.
Let's draw some stuff. So we've got a series of questions, and the first question, half of what onward? I'm not getting the reference for that, but I know that it's half.
Half a league onward.
See,
No, never mind.
Stan gets the reference. Yeah, right.
Right. This is a very literary cartooning show.
Right over my head.
The half of wit will now ask the question. Half of what onward? A minotaur is half human, half bull. But which half? A minotaur is a half human, half bull. A centaur is half human, half horse. If you could design a new creature that's half a blank and half a blank, what would it be? No, I do need to ask for some numbers from the viewing audience before we get going here. If folks who are watching can throw out numbers between 1 and 12, we need to assign.
You got to bring your dice to this show.
Yes. And we're just talking. Yeah, we're just talking about the 12-sided dice.
That's your use. That's your use for it. Is this show?
Jake Mon, 1 and 12. There we go. Oh, holy smokes!
Now they're into it.
Yes, we got 2, 6. I'm taking the first. We needed 6. So I'm taking the first 6. We got between 1 and 12, 2, 6, 7, 9, 11, and 12. 2, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So, Richard, we'll start with you. We're going to ask you to draw. This is a new version of a minotaur or centaur, or it is a mind flayer penguin.
Oh, perfect.
Adorable.
Soon to be.
You win.
I can't imagine a better combo than that.
I need my glasses.
I don't know if this will be appearing in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, but if it's not, it certainly should. Max, we're asking you to draw a kobold tiger.
Oh.
Or a tiger kobold.
All right.
Either one.
Yeah.
Choice is
Okay.
yours. And Stan,
Interesting.
we are asking you to create, number 7 is a lich.
A lich.
A lich giraffe.
Wow.
All right. So the question
right.
again, half of what onward? And I'm an English major, and that flew right over my head. That's speaks to how good of an English
Little
major
dragon
I was.
people?
Half of what onward? A minotaur.
Kobold?
Oh, yeah, that's
That's-
cool.
Yes.
So, like, little dog Little dog dragon people.
A minotaur is half human, half bull. A centaur is half human, half horse. Our artists are creating
Which
new
giraffe? Really?
giraffe. We're looking. Yes, we're. Oh, that's a very good question. What does a lich giraffe use as its phylactery? I'm sure it keeps it in a very high place, no matter what. So, as always, we'll give our artists about 5 minutes to create their work, and then we'll rip it away from their hands mid sketch.
How big is a kobold? Does anyone know?
3 feet tall.
3 feet tall. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm not changing the
Exactly.
size of his head.
Mm-hmm. So just to.
If you don't draw to like 3 feet tall, we gotta send you home.
Yeah.
So Richard is drawing a mind flare penguin. Max is drawing
You know what happens when you start drawing evil giraffe? It looks a lot like a dragon.
Gotta do those two little weird
Yeah.
antler things that they've got.
They've got those the long extended snout and all. Look at this. This guy, all I got is a dragon
He
with
looks
weird
cool.
ears.
He looks cool regardless.
So is a giraffe just a good dragon?
Well, that's a good question.
A very stiff dragon.
With really long legs.
And as they draw, I will just do the patter of folks of stuff and nonsense going on these days.
The Fetter of Doom.
The patter of doom. As this is the Dragon Plus live stream, I'll just make a quick mention that the current issue of Dragon Plus is available now. Available as always on iOS, Android, and online at dragonmag.com. It is free. And we'll be returning in the middle of April with our next issue. Our next issue, so if anyone has seen the cover of the Crystal Shard on the table before me, there's good reason for that. It is, believe it or not, the 30th anniversary of the Crystal Shard, which I remember reading in college, which is terrifying to do the math. But as it turns 30 this year, we wanted to do a little special celebration for R.A. Salvatore and Dritz Duerden. So he'll be not only appearing on the cover of the next issue of Dragon Plus, we've got a very nice interview with R.A. He came to the halls of Wizards
I
of
was
the
going to say, can we
Coast.
say that? He was here a couple of weeks ago.
We can. Well, we just did. He came to Wizards of the Coast to do a little bit of an author chat to talk about.
He gave us a nice talk about his the way he goes about creating.
Yeah.
You know, his writing style, what he thinks about when he's gonna work on it, and just kind of how that all came together for him.
I thought he had a nice point that he makes when he writes. He uses his characters to explore and address some of the questions he himself has. And if you're using that if you're exploring those in fiction, you know, you've got a wide variety of ways to do it and see if you come up with any answers for yourself and potentially for others. I thought that was a nice approach.
He told me I was not very good looking.
Well, he's also a very wise man.
And so it goes down the toilet so soon. Into the gutters immediately.
He did say that.
So I believe that is, and I should know this off the top of my head, I believe that's going to be issue 19 that will be coming out in April. In fact, I'll make a quick call out to our wonderful designer over at Dialect. Chris Imley added the actual issue numbers to the covers of the issues of Dragon Plus. We didn't have them on there originally, and as we've hit issues 15 and above, it's gotten a little bit of a necessary to track what issue number we're on. Dragon Plus is now old enough to vote legally, and it will soon be old enough to drink legally. at least in the United States.
Yeah. Can drink in Eastern Canada.
Yeah, it's like 12.
12.
12 is
Yeah.
Oh, it's 6 issues ago it could drink. Yeah, so how did this happen? We have 2 Canadians on
I think that's why Richard brought me down
Dungeons and
here.
Doodles.
Yeah, we needed some, some talent.
That's nice of you to say. I thought you were just going to say more Canadians, regardless of talent.
No.
People very rarely like to talk about the fact that I'm half Canadian. So
Are you really?
Yeah.
I really am.
I don't feel comfortable talking about it.
2.5 Canadians.
Yeah, you are.
I don't feel comfortable with the show at all now.
It's all a Canadian plot.
You're outnumbered.
I am, deeply. All right, we're passing off the first of our illustrations to
Do you
Pelham.
sign it?
The ever-busy Pelham,
I often do.
manning
but
not
I'm
just
all
the
full of
chat,
myself.
the production, but
You
also
should sign it.
displaying as well.
Okay.
Oh, dude, this is awesome.
So, Richard, who are we looking at on the screen right now?
Some Mind Flayer penguin. I don't know what his name would be.
I was just going to ask. what was
Kilroy.
Bingo. Bingo Jones.
Bingo Jones.
Some of my best work.
It's a nice, folks in chat are appreciating his tiny but still imposing
tiny butt?
cloak.
Oh yeah. Most of it hangs down
He
behind
said
him.
his tiny butt. I'm like, what?
His tiny but ... imposing cloak.
He's sort of a
Pass this
vampire.
Yes, this is our highly advanced.
He's grooming himself.
Soon enough. Oh, there we go.
That sounded very. He's screaming himself.
Yeah.
That's very Bob Ross.
I like.
I like to think of myself as
Pangolin-
like Bob Ross.
Do we like Pangolorthius as a?
Oh,
Glorious.
Pink Glorthius is good.
There we go. All right.
Very pronounceable too.
And Max, what are we looking at here?
That's my kobold tiger, and he's giving himself a bath.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's tiny little kobold head.
Yeah, I thought that was the only way to make it interesting. The head is to scale,
Yeah.
and he's got a tiny, tiny little head.
and last but not least,
My penguin actually has a weird butt.
I like it.
Thanks, man.
It's good butt.
and Stan coming up on screen now. Who do we have
check it
here?
out.
Oh yeah.
Gerontimus.
This is our giraffe lich.
Yeah.
Did we ever determine where the giraffe lich keeps his phylactery?
Well, giraffes can't say anything, so no one knows. They can't make any noises. No one knows where he keeps it.
Great save. Are giraffes mute?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, thank you for the first round of Dungeons and Doodles.
I'll give you a poem in the beginning and some random giraffe facts.
There you go.
I love it.
We forgot to mention we
That.
wanted to not hog all of the fun ourselves. If folks are ever interested in taking a crack at the questions themselves and putting up the doodles, we'll be glad to follow it. We figured hashtag Dungeons and Doodles would be a great way to share your work if anyone else is interested in contributing their fine kobold, mind flare, or lich creations crossed with some sort of some goofy animal. So thank you, guys. You've now been inaugurated into
Hey,
Dungeons
that
and
wasn't so
Doodles.
hard.
No, I mean, no. I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do at this point.
Out there, give it 100%.
That's all I can do is 110%.
Hope they have the walk.
10%.
All right. So for the next question, we got sort of a similar vein. We were going to do a half and a half, but different halves each side of it. We were going to do a bit of. Well, but before I get into that, if folks in the chat, instead of a number, would like to throw out a suggested piece of gear, any mundane gear, we're going to figure out a way to incorporate that into the next question. Oh, that's So for the next question, it's the discount arms rack. There we go. We got some good. So,
this is where Bart has fun.
10-foot. Yeah, I love it. 10-foot pole, grappling hook, lemon, shovel hat, smoking pipe. Somehow, Automod caught that.
10-foot lemon.
Caltrops, toothbrush, some good stuff. So,
toothbrush.
show us an odd combination of equipment. It's going to be half of a weapon, and half of a mundane piece of gear.
Okay.
So we'll do it again here. If folks can throw out a number between 1 and 12, we'll use that for the weapons, and then we'll give you guys a choice from some of the suggestions that folks have been putting in the chat. So
Sweet.
If we can get numbers from 1 to 12. Richard, you're 8. Max, you're 6. Stan, you're an 11. Okay.
Oh.
And I'll go
I've always
back.
thought so.
I'll give you a.
It's the first time I've been as high as a 6.
I'll give you a. So Richard, we're looking for. It's going to be a mace.
Okay.
And I'll pick a few here. Either you cheese.
Man.
Hat. Or let's go with the smoking pipe, just because I think it's amusing that Automod.
A mace smoking pipe.
Pick your whatever.
Okay.
Max, we've got plate armor for you.
Oh, okay.
And we also have 10-foot pole.
That's abstract.
Bag of 1,000 ball bearings. Or
I can imagine just a plate armor filled with ball bearings.
or a toothbrush.
All right.
One or all of those. Feel free to choose. And Stan, we've got a pole arm, which see the toothbrush would have been
A pole, just a
That's
pole arm.
a pole arm?
Some kind of pole arm.
some kind of pole arm combined with a. Let's see, a trench coat. I'm trying to choose ones that have absolutely no possibility of being a carabiner or gloves.
What's a carabiner?
You know, you will clip on the climbing. I'm probably mispronouncing that the same way.
No, I'm probably
You got
just don't, and I haven't done climbing. I'm not a climber.
It's
So.
like a clip.
I'll give you a
helpful.
fourth, or we'll do one from the list itself, or a cuckoo clock.
I had a feeling you were gonna. That was when I added that to the list the other day. I thought, oh, this is great. He's probably gonna make me do it.
I've
Yes.
been so last week last month I mispronounced brazier as an
That was very funny.
Brazier.
you can
brazier.
brazier.
Oh wow. Yeah. So really.
Again, for everyone watching, thank you so much for contributing the numbers and suggestions. It's always awesome when folks take part, and I can throw out some random things just to kind of go through the list of what we didn't quite catch. A lot of lemons and limes, quiver, bedroll, bag of rats. I remember using those in a game once to set off traps.
We should write some of these down. We'll have a new list already for next month. We don't have to think of it ourselves.
That's a good point. This is the third time we've done Dungeons and Doodles. Stan and Richard and I think Adam Lee had came up with a huge list of questions, and we're kind of going through the end of them. So
Also, Owen Casey Stevens helped me out initially when we were doing this off the clock.
nice. So, if you do have suggestions for more Dungeons and Doodles questions, feel free contribute them in chat. Feel free to please put them in our Twitter account, hashtag Dungeons and Doodles, and we'd love to collect them. And again, if anyone would love to take a crack at creating any of these fine and useful items on your own, we'd love to see your drawings as well. Just feel free to use hashtag Dungeons and Doodles, and hopefully that's not already been used.
Hopefully someone else
by
is.
something horrific.
Some other weird thing.
The darkest corner of Twitter.
Well, that's what I was saying. We'll use like hashtag NFL or something for maximum visibility. It won't make sense for half of the users on Twitter, but it'll sure get a lot of eyeballs.
See a lot of people.
We had a list. We created a list on our own, but it's always great to have the community, the viewers contribute. We had could have been a light source, a container, a climbing device. Cooking supplies, a bicycle. Not a lot of bicycles in D&D, but it would have made for a fun.
Always fun to draw bicycles without reference.
Right. Qualish is the bicycle of Qualish. The dressmaker's dummy, spinning loom, and tableware. So for what else is going on in Dragon Plus for next issue? In addition to interviews with R.A. Salvatore, I believe we're also looking to talk with fantasy author Mike Cole. He also does military fiction and fantasy fiction. He has a new book out called The Armored Saint, and is apparently an avid Dungeons and Dragons player himself. So.
Who isn't?
We reached out to him. Who is it? That's a very good question. As far as release dates, a little bit of housekeeping for Dragon Plus. We usually release at the end of every other month. We are going to be moving up the release dates to get it a little bit closer to the start of every other month. The reason being, by the time we get to the end of the year, it just makes better sense for us to have the October issue out at the start of October to kind of help celebrate the whole month of Halloween. Always fun for undead and monsters, as opposed to right on Halloween and kind of lose some of the lead-in. And same with the December issue. We love to do, for this year we did the crafting guide. Mazmataz, I see in chat as well, had a...
we love Mazmataz.
Yes.
Hey, Mazmataz!
Had a feature in there. And so for crafting and gift guides, kind of makes good sense for us to have that out at the start of the holiday season, so folks have a chance to consider purchasing any of our recommendations. So yes, issue numbers added thanks to Chris Imley, and thanks to our editor-in-chief, Matt Chapman, for his ongoing fine work putting together each issue's contents. Again, we are underway.
Up to a time limit?
We're coming in there.
When I run
we're
out
all
of
getting close.
When I run out of breath. This is the discount arms rack. Show us an odd combination of equipment. It's half weapon, half mundane gear. I want one of those now.
You could tap your son with it.
Let me tell you something about my son. Do you know that a 40-pound boy dropping double knees onto your back throws your back out for a week?
I do know that,
So
actually.
Richard, what are we looking at on screen?
It's a mace pipe.
That's actually legit.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's like a well-illustrated prop. Mine's stupid.
Yeah, but it's actually like this big.
Stupid's good.
It's like this big.
Oh, yeah. So like one of those really old Switzerland
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah, like they
pipes.
started with like a cauldron, and then they put the thing in it.
Oh,
So
like
it's probably
it's what a fire giant would
Yeah,
smoke
that's
out of.
Cool.
yeah, it's a fire giant pipe.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do
You
that.
get a lot of
It's like a good idea.
Coming soon
lot
to
of hobbit weed in there.
to thinkgeek.com. For tobacco purposes.
So stupid. It's like some
All right.
Poor guy.
No,
living
we
in a nightmare.
love stupid.
It's plenty stupid.
All right, Max. What are we? What are we looking at here? Coming
That's
soon.
the plate armor and bag of 1,000 ball bearings, and it's just spilling out everywhere and causing a horrific mess. And he's slipping on it, and it's the worst item that you could ever get
Well,
looks
it's from
of
the
it.
discount armament
Don't know why
store.
you'd pay anything for it, but it seems like a punishment.
Because it's 30% off.
There you go. Yeah,
Wait,
seems like a deal.
Yeah, you can hold your ball bearings in your armor.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That was the magic of sequential art right there. I felt that one.
The movement.
Yeah.
It's years of study and practice.
Yeah, that's a good point. You might not even know that you're carrying the ball bearings. It might be cursed armor.
Yeah, and they just continuously
They just go-
overflow.
So for any dungeon master watching, but your players aren't, there's a great suggestion for
It's very
cursed
noisy.
armor. And Stan, what are we
Got
looking
a
at here?
cuckoo clock when it strikes the hour. It really strikes the hour.
Very good.
Oh boy.
Stan.
So
Just imagine that little cuckoo, high peepee voice. You know, top of the hour, suckers.
it's like a
Those are my nightmares.
like a mephit clock.
Right.
To just come out and stab who's ever standing in front of it.
Is this
That's
the point
awesome.
where we vote someone out?
Well, yeah. We'll be.
It was fun while it lasted.
We know
All
you
right.
made the show.
So any of these
I'll
fine,
just come back again. I'll write myself back in.
any of these fine items might be coming to an adventurer's mart near you, if not soon, possibly never. But we like the stories that go behind them now as we make them up. So, all right. We're already at the bottom half of the hour, and we've got 2 out of 6 questions. So we'll
Oh, really?
yes,
Yeah.
I know. So we'll jump.
This is why we need to do this, more often.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe like an 8-hour show.
There we go. Let's not get crazy.
24-hour marathon.
charity
Yeah.
event.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
If Bob Ross can be streamed on Twitch for his,
I'm bored of myself after an hour.
So for question number 3, we're going to look for the name of a spell, and this would be the question. We'll just give you the question in advance. Show us the result of a spell gone wrong. So if you have suggestions for spells that you would like to see the catastrophic results for, give us your suggestions in the Twitch chat, please. Oh, there we go. All right, and again, I think we'll do. I'll give you the choice of groupings. Oh,
It's just spells gone wrong.
yes.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is one. Every
This
time
is
we
the
talk,
big one.
every time we talk about this one, it's like they're so obvious. It's like this doesn't feel like a joke. Like I'm sure this happened in my game.
Yeah, it could actually happen.
All right. We've got. We've got. I'm trying to avoid the duplicates as I jump through really quickly here. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Oh, okay. There we go. All right. Some awesome suggestions here. So Richard,
Yes.
you'll give you a choice here between Tasha's hideous laughter, clone, or polymorph.
Man.
That's some good
good
ones.
selection.
Oh, yeah.
Can
So-
I have his leftovers?
Yeah. Max,
Yeah.
for you, we've got Grease, Teleport, or Otto's Irresistible Dance.
Okay.
And Stan,
Let's do someone
You
slipping
want
again.
to do Palmer?
we've got Bigby's,
Yeah.
Bigby's hand spell,
Yeah, clones are a good
gaseous
one.
form, or either enlarge or reduce.
Wow.
Oh,
I think I got an idea.
the thoughts. I think
got
the
it?
gears.
I think so.
The gears are
Man.
spinning wildly. So thank you again for folks tuning in to viewing for Dungeons and Doodles on the Dragon Plus live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, of course, and thank you so much for participating with your suggestions. We love them. We came up with our list ahead of time and immediately discarded it, so we could ask for your suggestions because we like those even more as well. As Stan mentioned, we
What was
love
my middle one? It was Big B's.
gaseous form
Yes, form.
or any Big B's hand spell.
Yeah.
Possibilities there, yeah.
As Stan mentioned, we love doing this. It's easy for me to say because I'm not the one that has to draw. I just get to watch. But we love putting on Dungeons and Doodles. We'll be looking to do Dungeons and Doodles pretty regularly, probably once a month, and bringing in special guests such as Max Dunbar as time and schedules allowed. And Claudio, if you're watching, or we caught you on Twitter the other day, some special guests might not be able to be here in person, but we'll look to find ways to have guests remote in. I believe we have that technology. We'll make Pelham's life that much more difficult. But we'll be looking to do Dungeons and Doodles a little bit more frequently, about once a month, as things go on. As folks continue to sketch, I will mention a couple more news and announcements. Yesterday, we had our first episode of
All right, I got it.
of Mordenkainen's Mayhem. This was in support of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, releasing May 29th. Widely limited alternative cover, hitting a little earlier for game stores on May 18th. Discover the truth about the great conflicts of the D&D multiverse, and, of course, to help showcase these conflicts, and really to also help preview more of the book in a fun and meaningful way. And because it's the season for bracket tournaments in various other areas that we're probably legally not allowed to discuss. But we wanted to do a bracket competition of our own in support of some of the creatures appearing in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Yesterday, we had the Blood War round. Throughout history, the teeming hordes of the Abyss and the strictly regimented legions of the Nine Hells have battled for supremacy in the cosmos. In the mortal world, the scant few scholars, arcanists, and adventurers who know the conflict for what it is refer to it as the Blood War. Emitanji was representing the demon side as a Sybriax. Adam Lee was representing the devil side as Moloch. We had a little bit of a disparity in challenge ratings, so to try and keep things slightly balanced, we were a little fast and loose with the rules. We did modify the stat blocks for Sybriax and Moloch to get the challenge ratings a little bit more equal. They did not have legendary actions. Moloch did not have his legendary resistance, and we pumped up Sybriax's hit points. And by special request by Emmy, we gave Sybriax a handful of Sarasworn Wretched at her disposal, which ended up...
Which everyone thought, why?
Right.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And yet,
holy
cats, those wretched, they won the day.
At first, you think it's just a bag of caltrops thrown on the floor against somebody in armored boots, but no, it turns out that the caltrops fight back in a meaningful way, they helped win the day. So Emmy, congratulations to Emmy Tanji. The Sybriax will be moving on to the next round. I think we also have, as they're continuing to draw, the winner of, I don't know if you guys have seen the winner of Mordenkainen's Mayhem.
Oh,
That is beautiful.
You won?
No, I'm merely modeling what the winner does win. Kate Irwin, who is also a contestant coming up later on, crafted for us a beautiful crown, Mordenkainen's crown.
That's phenomenal.
The crown of feeble mind that I often wear myself.
We'll get you a crown.
But yes, every Monday for the next, for 7 weeks in total, for the next 6 weeks, Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific, we'll be continuing to live stream Mordenkainen's Mayhem. We're keeping the actual creatures a bit under wraps, just as part of the previewing process. We think it would be fun to reveal them as the fights are underway, but we will still be at least announcing the contestants. Next week it will be Matt Warren and Shelley Mazanoble will be squaring off. Chris Lindsay will be returning each week, as are Dungeon Master Extraordinaire. We'll also be putting together a little recap video if you missed it live on Monday. You can, of course, always look for it in our video section on Twitch. But we will put together a little recap video as well that will be running earlier in the day on Mondays, most likely either before or after Craft Tags on at noon.
Danny.
And if you get a chance, you should watch that. Yesterday's really was a lot of fun. I imagine they're just going to keep getting better.
Yes, we were. Speaking of Kate Irwin, we were. She was watching Craft Tags yesterday at noon, avidly. So again, this is round number 3. This is. Oh, I forgot the name. The name is Eldritch Error. Show us the results of a spell gone wrong. Richard had either Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Clone, or Polymorph. Max had either Grease, Teleport, or Otto's Irresistible Dance. And Stan, a choice of a Big B's hand spell, Gaseous Form, or Enlarge. Given those choices, how could you not go with that? I'm peeking. I can see.
Don't give it away. I almost didn't.
People supposed to guess.
I almost didn't.
Okay.
And again, for anyone that would be willing to share their own contributions, hashtag Dungeons and Doodles, and we'd love to see what you guys.
It's a little stupid. And cryptic.
Yeah, it's a little stupid. Check out what I did.
People are just gonna look at mine and be like, "All right, that's a picture."
That sure is.
All right, Max, which spell did you choose, and how did you portray it?
He cast grease, and it made his hair greasier than he would have cared for.
Ah, there you go.
That's about it. Not my strongest.
I think it accurately portrays.
It's a mild
the,
inconvenience.
There you go. So grease is the word.
Yes, it is the word.
And Richard, we've got yours on the screen. Which spell did you choose, and how did you choose to portray it?
This is Clone. So I do like sort of a toe-headed guy, and there's little toe-headed clones crawling all over his back.
It's amazing.
And he's got a polka dot scarf, because his name is Polkadontus.
Polkadontus.
The mage.
I do like the idea, like in the days, whenever you cast the wish spell, it would be interpreted as wildly off as possible, just so the spell wasn't misused. I feel like there's some deity out there that might do the same thing for every spell you might cast. And so grease.
Well, and when I got this challenge, I thought this is a point where I can highlight my mastery of anatomy to Max. So
I learned a lot by looking over there.
Thanks. I usually start with this kind of shape for a head. Just like that.
I've never used my thumb as reference for a face before, but now I'm going to.
I'm not proud of this.
Not a lot of pride in this room after that last time.
No.
There's a palette cleanser.
Yeah.
Draw a fine art reproduced. And Stan, which spell did you choose, and how did you choose to portray it?
Gaseous form.
Classic.
And there was nothing wrong with the gaseous form. It's just that his team members decided to go a little gaseous too.
Very, very good.
If you know what I mean.
It's a crowd pleaser.
That's right.
Hey,
That's right. Don't, when the half-orc says pull my fingers, just say no.
It's a new player option. If you're out of material components, then you're going to have to figure out another way to cast.
That's right. We got to cast it somehow.
Cast a spell.
That's right.
I think Stan might have won that round.
Yeah, I think you probably did.
Yeah, 1 point Stan.
Come on. I get negatives for going easy with the fart joke. That's low bar. That's low difficulty.
I get negatives for having a terrible idea.
Well, with that shot of confidence all around the table, let's move on. I think we'll manage to get in at least 2 more. We've got 3 written down, but we've got two more questions here. We've got 3 rings of mayhem. I'm trying to figure out the best way. We need a location and.
I think skip that one. That's going to make people. If we want to hit 2 and get them done in an hour, that's the slow one.
Okay. Should we go to 5? Should we just jump right to
Yeah,
5?
yeah.
Okay. We're going to jump to question number 5. And this is in honor of our special guest today,
What?
Max.
Yeah.
We cooked up a special question in honor of many of your renditions of Minsk, who I am currently playing with now in my party in Baldur's Gate 2.
Oh, fantastic.
That's my bedtime game
He's
on my
the best.
iPad. He is the best. He's a fun one. He's fun in the comics to read as well.
Thank you, yeah.
And,
yeah, blast.
So,
You and Zub, you work together well.
Yeah, well, thank you. Love working with that guy.
I never liked him.
No, I mean, I don't like him personally.
enough with the accolades.
He's really,
Now with the threats
really
and
mean.
demeanings.
He's probably in the audience right now. He was waiting for us to say something nice about him.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, Jim.
Screw
It's
you, Zub.
not going to happen.
I wanted to bring it up right here.
Yeah.
But no.
So the next question is the old Boo, or perhaps the original Boo, Minsk's, ooh, that's a tough one to say, for
is, yeah.
possessive.
I don't even try.
Minsk's current companion is, as everyone knows, Lidred, you've got it right, a giant miniature space hamster named Boo. However, for purposes of today's game show, what might have been the earlier tryouts to have become Minsk's companion? So assuming before Boo, Minsk had a previous pet, companion, partner in crime,
Love it.
what might it be?
You know, when we were coming in here, I knew this question was on the list, and I had an idea, so I'm just starting already.
So I think we're jumping right into it, but we've got some great, already some good suggestions going on in chat now that I've got to keep. Every time we do Dungeons and Doodles, I have to go back. I have to watch the show at least a couple times just to read through the chat again, because there's always some great suggestions. So I'll wait for you to commit to your answer, unless you would like one pulled from the chat. Or do you all have your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm.
Okay.
It's not good, but I'm doing it.
All right. Well, just for shoots and giggles, some suggestions. We had the giant tortoise,
Shoots and giggles.
Oh.
a Tarrasque-sized Boo. That's gonna, you see, it's a lot of, oh yes, oboe crazy, spider shark.
Spider shark.
I call it a good callback there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Unicorn gerbil, a slug, rabid sloth, a monkey, a gecko, couple tortoises. Tortoises are popular. A mimic, camel, a mouse, Dino Boo.
Oh, that would have been good.
Any of these would have made fine original companions. Maybe Dino Boo might have passed in a horrific accident, and Boo is his replacement. Miniature giant blink dog. Adam Lee would like to propose a drunken chimpanzee.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's dangerous though. Things will rip you apart.
Wolverine.
Just the character Wolverine?
Wolverine.
Well, I'm assuming it's the animal Wolverine, but
I thought you just, without the eye, it just
guess.
sounds like he's hanging out with Wolverine.
yeah,
Ned Stark's head.
the 12 hexes. We're going to need you to specify if you mean Logan or the Michigan Wolverines.
Not the animal in either case.
Well, I guess there's a third option.
Yeah. I don't
You
think
want
so.
something that's going for Bucky Badger? I mean, come
I don't
on.
think so.
Intellect Devourer. That's yeah.
Oh, that's like some backstory almost, because he's not super bright.
Shiloh LaBeouf got 2 votes for some reason. I don't know why.
He's an animal.
It's a cannibal.
More lemons. Flump. Chortle. Yeah. Flying pig. Warforged goose. I don't know where that
Warforged Goose?
Warforged
Is that a thing?
goose.
would. It is now.
Now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Zumacalis suggests the Warforged goose. Somebody
That's
threw
pretty
in.
good.
These are all wonderful, and I think I've said this about 8 times in different live streams, particularly with Richard in attendance, but there's always tables and charts we keep promising that we're going to compile and put into Dragon Plus at some point, and I think we'll have to do one with add animal companions for sure, and we'll take your suggestions as well. Richard, when we did the community polls, they were always great. It was always give us odd lich phylacteries or strange things in a giant sack. And Richard had contributed the illustrations to those articles. If you ever wondered where a sleeping bag sized sock came from the mind of Richard Whitters.
There was always
Whitters.
Whitters.
Yeah, there's always
Whitters.
good suggestions there.
Warforged.
But some people made suggestions. They're like, 3 landscapes smashing together. And you're like, oh, I can't
Hard to encapsulate
tonight.
Bicycles.
Jake Man 144, you good callback as well. We could have gone with the giraffe lich as a original Minsk companion.
Done.
Yeah,
Well, where do you think he came from?
Exactly. We did say somebody had mentioned a turtle as well. Just a quick mention. Last year, the turtle package was one of the products that we made available in the DMs Guild. All proceeds went to the Extra Life Children's Charity. It was a great fundraiser, and we're super appreciative for the excitement that went into the total package and everyone supporting Extra Life and Children's Hospitals through.
It's still available, right? It's not like it's gone. You
No.
can Still go on there and buy it.
Still available. Head lice, a rust monster,
Head lice.
clockwork guinea pig.
That's why he's bald now, because he shaved off all his hair from the head lice.
I imagine a lot of adventurers probably
Clockwork guinea
the inns and taverns of the Forgotten Realms, maybe not the
Rife with lice.
right. But in any case, we will of course be taking part in Extra Life this year as well. Again, we had we had great success with the DM's Guild material for the Turtle package, and we'll be looking to, I think, expand some of the offerings through the DM's Guild this year as well from Wizards of the Coast employees. So look for further word on that in the days ahead. The Extra Life page for Dungeons and Dragons is already up now. Just go to it's extra-life.org, and I believe it's /participants/D&D. So you can find us right there. The Extra Life game day itself does not take place until November, but again, making use of material via the DM's Guild is going to help the charity throughout the entire year. So we'll get some more news and announcements out for that in particular in the days ahead. Oh, Beaver Moose in honor of the Canadians.
Oh, that's nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to draw through the tears of pride.
3 grung in a wizard's robe. Sure.
Sounds like a movie. 3 men and a baby.
That was Joe Pesci's last movie.
All right, we're starting to come up with our. Aww.
Oh, it's like you've drawn him before, right?
Yeah, it's like I've drawn him 1,000 million times.
You got stands up.
All right, Stan. Who was Minsk's original potential animal companion?
That's Beauregard, the miniature giant, or giant miniature rhinoceros.
Aw. He's going for the headbutt.
Yep.
Beauregard?
Go for the headbutt, Beauregard.
Beauregard.
Go for the headbutt, Beauregard.
All right, so Minsk's original animal companion might have been Beauregard, the miniature giant rhinoceros.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Other suggestions, an entire anthill.
Entire anthill. That's genius. Just carries it around with him. It's like a big pile of dirt.
I don't know how that works. But
love it.
I fully support and endorse an entire anthill as a potential animal companion.
Oh, that thing's terrifying.
It is
Good
terrifying.
heavens.
What the?
So like a tick with a
With a beard?
with a knife.
You thought the bed bugs in New York were bad.
This is the stuff.
All right, Richard, who was Minsk's original animal companion?
Lawrence, the tick. Just a regular sized tick.
Yes.
But he's got some skills with a knife. And somebody said Shia LaBeouf, so I gave him like a Shia LaBeouf beard. But it's not a depiction of Shia LaBeouf.
So he's a regular sized tick, but not a regular tick by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Inspired
he
by
speaks
Shia
like
LaBeouf.
8 languages.
Oh,
There we go.
And
He can backstab you, but only from very, very, very close.
yes.
And
the back of your heel.
I believe we
Yeah.
have one more up from Max Dunbar, who is now clearly, if anyone would know in this room, it
I
would be
feel like this is actually canon.
There we
What
go.
you're about to see.
Yeah. What you're about to see.
So his original animal companion.
Is some kind of sock puppet. The name of which I don't know. Mr. Bootins.
Mr. Bootins.
But other people can come up with a better name than that.
Let's call him Sock Tyler.
Tyler.
You know, if anyone would use a sock puppet as an animal companion, I feel like it would be Minsk.
Sure.
All right. In any case, all right. We're rapidly approaching the top of the hour. Somehow
Oh,
this has
dear.
happened once again. We've got time for one more contest. Do you
One
like
quick one.
Do you like number 4 or number 6? Strange
I
Place
like,
or
I like 6 because
6?
they're so funny.
Okay.
We have as a group spent a lot of time working on those.
We did. So number 6, we did not get nearly through all of the boss monsters question from last time. And we were in love with our own answers, I think. We wanted to go back to it again. So this is You're Not the Boss of Me. Draw the boss monster from the following fictitious adventure module. And we pared it down a little bit, and if I could please get numbers, any number between 1 and 16 from our viewing audience.
Pull out a D16, you're fine.
Yes, it's used as often as the D12. If you've got a D16 at home, we've got 3, 7, and 1. There's always one guy. 121. It falls off the list. We've got, all right, so, and that one's gonna be a little tricky. We might, and 17, Jake, man, there's always somebody that goes to 17 as well. All right, so we've got, Richard, do you want the first, second, or the third number we've drawn?
Oh, I'll do the first.
Then you have Asleep on the Borderland.
Oh. And the boss monster for Asleep on the Borderland?
The boss monster for Asleep on the Borderland.
Okay.
It's not a keep on the Borderland, it's Asleep on the Borderland.
Sleep on the borderland.
So Max, that leaves you, would you like number 2 or number 3?
Can't say no to number 2.
Number 2 is the Apocalypse Owlbear.
That's the one.
That's the one you wanted. Oh, good choice. He was sitting there yesterday going, "Oh, I gotta get in now, bear. I gotta get the."
And Stan, this leaves you with the third option, but I think this was the very first one that might have started it all. This is the Ghost Tower of Cheese.
Ghost Tower of Cheese.
So we're looking for the boss
Another
monster.
stinky joke. This is gonna be good. I got a
Yes.
theme going this time.
But it's thematic then. So again, thank you so much for contributing numbers 1 through 16 and beyond in some cases. We'll figure out a way to do it maybe via raffle next time. But this is You're Not the Boss of Me. Draw the boss monster from the following fictitious adventure module. We have from Richard, the Asleep on the Borderland, from Max, Apocalypse and Owlbear, and from Stan, the Ghost Tower of Cheese. So we've got, yes, this will time out beautifully. as meticulously practiced for sessions in advance. We'll hit the top of the hour right at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we're kind of experts at this.
Goes to show how good you are, Bart. You like to play it not being good at this, but in the end, when you're in charge, things just magically work out.
Well, way to jinx it for next time.
And we're not out of this one yet.
Yeah, exactly. So again, a couple of final news and announcements as we wrap up the top of the hour. This was our third Dungeons and Doodles episode. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, for contributing numbers and suggestions. We, as mentioned, love doing the show. We'll be looking to do it once a month, seems about right. And we'll be scheduling many fine guests, such as Max Dunbar.
Yay.
But not Max Dunbar.
But not me. Such as me, but not specifically not me.
No, yeah,
I
we're
mean,
gonna send him.
you paid your dues already.
We're gonna send him back to Canada.
Yeah. After you see this, you won't want me back.
So as always, we'll be continuing to stream the Dragon Plus live stream, 2 p.m. Pacific, following Mike Merle's Happy Fun Hour at 1 p.m. Greg Tito is back from mini vacation. He was gone the last couple days, but back for D&D News at 3:30 and Dice Camera Action, as always, at 4 p.m. Pacific with your Dungeon Master, Chris Perkins. Coming up later in April, as mentioned, we'll have the next issue of Dragon Plus available iOS, Android, or dragonmag.com. The issue topic will be looking a little bit at authors, specifically R.A. Salvatore, and the 30th anniversary of The Crystal Shard and Dritz Duerden. Oh, what else? One odd final bit of news and announcements. I had mentioned Extra Life. We were super appreciative of all the donations that took place last year. We tried our best to get the prizes out that folks had donated and had donated money in order to receive the prizes. We think we got them all. We do know we might have a couple of exceptions. If we did miss you with a donation reward, please let us know. You can send us a message in the Twitch chat. We know for a fact that Mike Merle's, his game at Gamehole Con, he owes somebody a set of dice that he played with. So if you were one of the donors to Mike Merle's game, in particular, and are due his set of dice, which I have here before me, which look like the original dice from like the 1983 box set where you had to fill in the numbers with white crayon. He might have used those intentionally for that very reason. Please let us know in chat so we don't miss you. Again, Extra Life, the D&D page is up now. If you would consider donating throughout the year, we'll be making some material again available on the DM's Guild. We're excited to talk more about that in the days and weeks ahead. As always, the Extra Life Game Day will be later on in November. We'll have the full slate of games to discuss later on in the year. And on Mondays for the next 6 weeks, we will be continuing our Mordenkainen's Mayhem creature competition, taking creatures from Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, and every time.
Tomb Tome. Mordenkainen's Tomb Tome.
See, that was my original suggestion for what to call it, was the Tomb of Foes, because they're going to end up,
The Tome of Tombs.
Tome of Tombs. The Dome of Foes, the Toes of Doom. It never ends. But in any case, tune in on Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific on the D&D Twitch channel for more. Yes, the Foam of Toes. That's what it was.
The Foam of Toes.
Tune in on Mondays, and next week will be our next round. The second battle between Matt Warren and Shelley Mazanoble. Creatures TBD, or I guess to be announced. TBA. And we'll have a recap video earlier in the day on Monday. on or around the Craft Tags hour at noon with Danny Hartel.
Who's this Shelley Mazanoble person? Is she a scrapper?
She professes to be a little nervous going into this, based on the tough competition she saw yesterday. She realized it's not all fun and games. This is for real. There's a paper crown at stake, and
You gonna show that again?
yes, that's a good point. Oh, we're gonna have to size it, but heavy is the head.
Where's the paper
where's the
crown?
paper crown?
The crown of feeble mind. Yes. Adam, and kudos to our contestants, to Emmy Tanji, congratulations. And Adam Lee in the chat as well, our condolences. We did play a little bit fast and loose, but tried to keep it as fair as possible. I think the Sarasworn Wretched had a bigger impact than we might have anticipated. But hey, all's fair in a arena of the mind.
I had some money on Adam at first, but when I saw Emmy going in the ring, I switched up my bet.
Well, I didn't realize that Moloch had regeneration 20 of return, and I knew that Emmy's Sibriex did not have radiant damage, and I thought, this is going to be a short one. But no.
Well, everyone underestimated those wrenches, except Emmy. She wanted them from the start. That was her one thing, right? She said,
That's
if
what
I'm
she-
in, I've got to have wrenches.
That's originally the creature she wanted to just play with, and their challenge rating 1/4, and we thought, what if we gave you another creature with a Wretched? And Chris Lindsay said, well, how about we give you another creature with 20 Wretched? Deal. Done and done. Yes, folks asking where they can see the finished drawings. We'll look to get a few of those up on Twitter as well. In the past issues of Dragon Plus, in the cartoons and comics sections, we also have the full slate of Dungeons and Doodles cartoons available there as a downloadable PDF. So just look for those in the next issue of Dragon Plus as well, which might also feature a cartoon from somebody else we know.
If it doesn't, it's all my fault.
That's my subtle reminder. But
I got an email from them today.
I know.
My drawing's a lot darker than your guys's.
Just like your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really make like Apocalypse Now with an
Oh, we
owlbear
can.
that light and fluffy, so.
So again, we will be wrapping up Dungeons and Doodles shortly with answers to our fifth and final question for the day. You're not the boss of me. Draw the boss monster from the following fictitious adventure modules. Richard had Asleep on the Borderland, Max, Apocalypse and Owlbear, and Stan. The Ghost Tower of Cheese. We'll have to save Polyhedral, Die Hard, Citizen Vecna, Fighter
So
Club.
we
and
got 14 extras that we
so
haven't
many more.
used.
Yes. For Tabaxi Driver, that was my
Tabaxi
contribution.
Driver.
That's a good one. I might just draw that
My work here is
in
done.
my own time.
Oh yeah, and a good point. Anyone interested in contributing their own drawings to the Dungeons and Doodles cause, we'll be looking for them on hashtag Dungeons and Doodles. We'd love to see what you put together. Because why not play from home? It's all for fun and games.
No, this is serious.
So Stan, what we're looking at?
We've got it's the Ghost Tower of Cheese, and the boss monster is the Gouda Ghoul. Unfortunately, he's up against some halflings who are really quite happy to see him because they missed second breakfast.
It's the good Ghoul. We'll look for that module coming your
That's
way.
right, coming your way. You know, I think that if we put together an entire product of cheese-themed monsters and traps, that would be a big seller.
Definitely could. The cheese that baits the trap, that'll
Yeah.
be the theme of the product. I like it. I like it a lot.
Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Max, as we play you off, play you out, thank you for coming on Dungeons.
Thank you for having me. I
Doodles
had
as
so
well.
much fun. It's awesome.
And we're looking at we're looking on screen
yeah,
now. This
sorry,
is
that is an owl bear who has been driven mad by his travels up the river, and
Right.
so now
Never get off the
he's
boat.
engaging in guerrilla tactics with a combat knife of some kind.
oh boy. Somebody mentioned we
That's
could
pretty
make some
cinematic.
serious cheddar with
Thank you, it's-
the traps and
Yes,
cheeses.
we
Stolen
sure
directly
could.
from the movie, so.
And
Except
Richard,
with
what do
an
we
owl bear
have
instead of my
here?
machine.
Oh, you can't see him very well. He's like a big sleeping giant, and there's a little keep behind his head.
Oh no, he's coming across. We can.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic foreshortening.
Yeah, you like that?
I
Yeah.
love it.
That's I took
That's
a
high
lot
quality
of-
art there. That's a sign. Foreshortening is a sign of quality art.
Yeah,
I-
and also that's very foot-centric. Feet are hard to draw.
Yeah, I took a lot of that in school. I drew a lot of feet.
Yeah, you're a big foot guy. I know that about you.
That's why he's so popular on the internet.
It's the Pacific Northwest. We're all big feet guys here.
Right.
Oh,
Oh. Well, on that note, as we've got our three final drawings up there, again, thank you to our artists for suffering through another edition of Dungeons and Doodles. Thanks everyone for participating. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Thank you for following, and for our subscribers as well. Thank you so much to.
Thanks for hosting, Bart.
Oh,
yeah, thank you. That was
it's
awesome.
my privilege and pleasure, and also my job.
I have no choice.
No, I love being here, and that's why we want to do it monthly, because it's all good fun. So stay tuned. 3:30 D&D News coming up with Greg Tito, and we'll be looking out for your contributions as well on hashtag Dungeons and Doodles. So we'll see what you guys come up with. We're eagerly awaiting. Thanks all.
Peace.